Like and share, everybody. Please like and share. Hit that bell button too, notification button. Hello, Lisa Lee.
No OG tonight.
We'll tell you. Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the state of Texas and the nation and the world. This is Texas Biker Radio number 467. And yes, OG is not here tonight. He's somewhere roaming around the DFW airport looking for his wife. Because she just called me up moments ago. Well, actually, she called my wife up and said, Jill, are you coming to pick me up? She said, no, OG is. Well, right now he's missing in action. So I'm sure he'll show up. So tonight Geezer and I are winging it. Geezer is our National SA of Sons of Liberty Riders MC. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about some biker stuff. There's not a lot going on out there. And I will say this much to the young man that told me about being profiled the other day. Get in contact with me and give me the rest of the information so I can ask for body cams. Oh yeah, we do that kind of stuff. So if he's listening or tunes in at some point, give me a buzz, Butch Moss on Facebook. Or a message, I guess you'd say, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have set the date for our rally in Milam County, Texas. It's October 3rd. October 3rd. That is on a Sunday. And the reason that is because of all the other events that clubs have on Saturdays. So we don't want to conflict with them. So we're going to do this on a Sunday. We've done them before. And I promise you, if that's a day that you're going to miss church, I have a good relationship with the Lord, and I'm sure He's going to forgive you. Right, Geezer?
Maybe not me, but everybody else will.
You too, Geezer. Don't dispel my relationship with the Lord. Because I have had cancer 4 times, everybody. All up here in this area. And I'm still here. The good Lord has a mission for me. And we're not done. We're not done. But, Geezer, I found out something interesting about Milam County. It's really kind of interesting because I do believe they may be renting out their jail like McLennan County does and like Parker County does. You know, they're trying to make money off their jails. And yeah. I did notice in their budget there in Milam County, their budget for inmates housing is $1.2 million for 2021.
How many cells they have in there?
I don't 15, know, 20? But I'm sure we're going to try and go down there and look when we go back and ask a few questions, you know. Just, I mean, this is what they do. They have these outfits that run these jails or run these prisons, and so they rent out the county jails. And, you know, it's not really a good thing. You know, when you have these private companies running these prisons, that's a recipe for disaster, Geezer.
Yes.
It truly is. Because generally it's substandard housing, it's substandard food, it's substandard medical care.
And they're going to keep you in there just as long as they can.
Yeah, well,
so
yes, that comes into play too. Is trying to see how long they can keep you there. And if you're a young kid that doesn't know very much, doesn't know the ropes, they will take you to the bank and back. This is what they'll do. And we'll be pointing this out along the way, the transgressions of private jails or prisons, whatever you want to call them. But anyway, this rally is going to be about an Army veteran, a biker, a proud biker, and a proud veteran. Has a Purple Heart, Bronze Stars, and other meritorious awards. Honorable discharge for 24 years of service. He can be a member of any club he wants to be a member of in my book. Any club. Like I've said before, he's been to every hellhole that this country has sent our troops to over his 24-year career. And going along here, we'll be telling you more about Patrick and the things that have been going on in Milam County, where they've been dragging him through the system for 3 years, over 3 years, maybe close to 4. It's an incredible thing, everybody. It really is. But we're going to go down there, and it's always a good time. Yeah, we had never had any problems at any of our rallies. Even when they had assault rifles pointed at us.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of amusing.
And the fake bomb scare.
And the fake bomb scare. Yeah, we had a fake bomb scare. So it was kind of kid. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Hey, look, I've had a chunk taken out of my dadgum tongue due to cancer, so give me a break, everybody. Give me a break. Let's continue, Geezer. What do you think about the Democrats that hauled ass up to D.C.? And now they got COVID.
And they've all been vaccinated.
Yeah. You know what I think, Geezer?
I think it's a fake.
I think there's a whole lot of lying going on. And you know what, Geezer? Kamala, who was around that bunch of morons, she hasn't quarantined herself.
Nope.
Now, maybe she doesn't believe in the science.
She might know more about the science.
You know, but who can? Who can believe in the science is what I'm saying. And we're going to have some interesting things to say about that as we go along here. But right now, let's say hi to a few people. I see the Process, and he's talking about being in Sturgis. Martin Nicholson, Solar West Texas, Napa. Napa, I can't wait to talk to you later this week. Brain damage. Yep. Hardy Rides. And let me go up here and see at the top and see if I missed anybody. Oops.
Lisa Lee.
Yeah, Lisa Lee. Did I say J.T. Parker?
No, you did not.
Okay, J.T. Parker.
Randy from our
And Randy, yeah,
Tennessee.
out in Tennessee. How you doing, buddy? Club Fit, 2018. He's up in Canada. Wow. Boy. Hey, you guys, if you would, like and share, please. Like and share. We'll gain a little steam as we go along here. So, yeah, we have those. I don't know how many it is, the Texas people that left up there, but I do hear, Geezer, that there's beginning to be some cracks in the wall. Some of them are going to be coming back soon. And evidently their constituents are letting them hear about it.
Yeah.
So, keep it up, everybody. Call their asses up and tell them to get their butts back home. Make the best deal they can. That's how it's supposed to work. You don't run up to the federal government, start whining to them about what our business in Texas. It's not the way it works. That's not the way it's going to work, no matter how much the Democratic Party wishes it. Because things are going to change soon, or it's going to get wild and hairy is what it's going to do. And that leads into, August is coming, everybody. August is coming. That's when all this news about all the audits and everything else. There's other states now. Wisconsin is talking about doing an audit. So
Yeah.
once one falls, others are going to fall. And the people on the left that we talk about that are all still there, all those Antifa types, all those BLM types, all these federal workers, all these people, they're still there. And they're going to come after us like gangbusters. It's what they're going to do. And right now they're having that select committee, Geezer, Nancy Pelosi. Can you imagine? A select committee to go after all those guys on January 6th. But she's not really after them. She's after Donald Trump. Because that's all this is going to be about, is Donald Trump all the way through it. That's all it's going to be about. And you know what? It's not about Donald Trump. It's about us, everybody. It's about us. So we've got to take the reins away from them. It's what has to happen. And so everybody's got to get ready. Get ready. Hey, Geezer, I got a video. Everybody get ready. I got a video I want to show you. And I don't know if there's any audio on this, but we'll see. Let me make some adjustments here. I don't know whether that's it or not, but we'll try it. Anyway, we're going to switch the cube, everybody. Get ready. I want to show you this. I'm not going to start it yet. That right there is Jeff Bezos and some guy named Wally and an 82-year-old lady. They're going off into space. Of course, they mentioned Bezos, and they barely mentioned these other people that are along for the ride. Bezos is claiming victory on a spaceship that looks like he's in a penis, a flying penis. That's what I'm saying, everybody.
The head popped off at the end.
But now there's a lot of misinformation going on here, everybody. Let me show you this here. Let's play a little bit of it. There it goes. He's flying away up into space. Now, this doesn't last that long. It's not like he's going to the moon. And so, he goes up into space and that little, I don't know what you call that thing, but he goes up into space. And let me clear up some misinformation right now. The misinformation is they're not the first humans to go into space. That's what they were saying all morning. First humans into space. BS. Last time I checked, geezer, astronauts were humans.
They used to be anyway.
Well, that's kind of I mean, what the hell, everybody? And second of all, those people that were in that thing, that there wasn't a pilot on it. It's just those 4 people.
Well,
They're not astronauts.
They kept calling them the crew.
Yeah, they called them the crew. They called them astronauts.
All they did was sit there and
They sat there and,
look
everything
out the
was,
window.
everything was done remote control. Maybe it was a guy out there with a little control thing, watching it go up. I wonder what happened, because the whole thing looked like it was done on the cheap. Now, they did say that company that is going to fly all these people into space on a joyride. But I would think, geezer, after we've seen so many launches, it's going to get old. Just like the space shuttle did. We saw so many space shuttle launches that people quit watching them. Now, what's happened is now all these rich fat cats are in a race to Mars. Of course, this guy's just going to the edge of space. But everybody else is trying to get to Mars, and I have no clue why. Who the hell wants to go there? It's 80 below zero, everybody. 80 below zero. So, and then besides that, what if you get up there and decide you're claustrophobic? How do you get back? I'm just saying, everybody, God. Of course, Bezos said, he said, let me find it. Oh, Bezos said he was just amazed that when he got up there and he looked down at the earth, how fragile the earth is. Always got to get that Mother Earth in there, everybody. You know how old the earth is, geezer?
It's got a lot of zeros after it. I don't know exactly.
4,500 billion years old, everybody. That's how fragile the earth is. I think it can cope with the flying penis.
It seems to do a pretty good job of regenerating
It
itself.
does do it. It's an amazing thing. And that as far as everybody bitching about the ocean all the time, the ocean is a miracle in itself, and it will clean itself. It will. So, but we'll discuss that sometime, because that's something I know all about.
Well, we were supposed to be out of oil at the end of the 80s, and
that's true. Yeah, I remember Carter saying we had 50 years left. Everybody get ready. Well, it's like, AOC said, we only got 10 years left before we burn up. Only 10 years left. Well, heck, now, since she said that, now we've got, wait a minute, we got about 8.
Texas.
First it was 12, then it was 10, now it's down around 9 or 8.
Well, Texas had about the coldest winter on record, didn't it?
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens when it's going to heat up.
So much for windmills, everybody. And they're still building them son of a bitches. Now they're east of Abilene. Let me say it again. They are east of Abilene. They're coming this way, everybody. Yeah, that, dang, I wish, what did they call that outfit? What do they call that? You guys on the chat line, what's the name of that space company out there? The Virgin Airlines guy. But you know what? I'm proud for Van Horn. I really am. It put them on the map, man. It really is. I got to make that where you can, the other guys can read what you're writing, Lisa Lee. Yep, it said, Artie Ride says, yep, take your shit and leave if you don't like it here. I mean, I just wonder what happened when the first time they get somebody up there and they go, oh, shit, I made a mistake. I don't need to be on this trip. Good Lord.
What would have happened if somebody would have thrown up today? That stuff would have just been floating around, wouldn't it?
I don't know. You know, that the way that thing is shaped, and you look at it, and they got these big old picture windows that each one of them can sit by. I mean, you know, as an aircraft worker, a former aircraft worker, I mean, I am amazed with all the engineering and everything that goes on with this. And I'm proud for those people and those kids that work on those programs, young people. You know, I really am proud for them. And you know, they let's hope they're the future and not these numbskulls running around the street late at night doing crap. Or maybe these political types. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy, everybody. But now we've got vaccine troubles, everybody. Stand by, stand by, stand by. We got vaccine troubles, and it's their own damn fault. It's their own fault. It's Biden and Kamala Harris's. It's their fault. It's the Democratic Party's fault. Remember back when President was Trump, and they were all going out there and saying, hey, I'm not going to take that vaccine. I'm not taking it. As long as Trump was there, they weren't going to take it, and they were going to cause as much hell as they could about it. That's what they were doing. And you know, if Facebook don't like it, if YouTube don't like it, tough crap. Tough crap. It's the truth, and you know it. You know it. They were poo-pooing the vaccine and carrying on about it, and now that it's in their court, take the vaccine. Take the vaccine. Get out there and get it. Give it to your kids. Give it to your infant. Give it to grandma. Give it to grandpa. Give it to everybody. Give it to Geezer. So, yeah. So they got vaccine troubles, and the reason is there's mixed messages, and not only that, with this new spike that they're talking about. Of course, they aren't talking about how many people are dying from it, and that's really key. But they're out there talking about this thing. Hey, it's spiking. It's carrying on. The blue states are going crazy. They're trying to put everybody back into a mask. It ain't going to happen here in Texas. I'll talk about that in a second. So they're trying to put everybody back into a mask in these blue states. Wait, hey, Newsom, make my day and do it in California. Oh, that's going to be the nail in your coffin, buddy.
Well, I think I heard him say that he wasn't going to put the restrictions back in place.
Guess what? He sees the writing on the wall if he's saying that. So we'll see what happens there. But you know what? He has let more than 1 million, everybody. More than 1 million people have come across that frickin' border. Let me say that again. More than 1 million. They say we're on track. If it continues and escalates, we're due to get 3 million people this year, by the end of the year. 3 million, everybody.
I'm sure they've all been vaccinated.
Hey, little Dick Durbin, I stole that from Rush Limbaugh. Little Dick Durbin, he said on the House floor that all these people that are coming in are going to be Democrats. He was bragging about it. he was freaking bragging about it.
Most of them won't know how to vote. They're going to have
Hey,
somebody helping them.
don't think they're that dumb. I mean, look at what happened the last election. I mean, if these son of a bitches get their way in the Congress, the Democrats, it's Katie bar the door. It's Katie bar the door. So they've smuggled 1 million people into the country, and the reason I say smuggle is because they're getting them away from the border as fast as they can. That's the reason they're putting them in airplanes and hauling ass with them. They filmed a airplane that left out of, which airport would they say it was? Air Force Base? Anyway, They took a picture of a 737 that landed there and took off with a bunch of illegal immigrants. They took them to Alexandria, Louisiana. And from there, they don't know where they went. So they're spreading them around the country. They can't stack up here on the border. So they're spreading them everywhere. All into the interior of the country. And you know what? We found out, Geezer, that they used the, when they started adding people, when they started doing the voting, they were using the census to tell how many votes to put in what counties. They were actually using the census to help do that. And they may be using that to do this. Where to put these people strategically. So that's what we're talking about. So what has happened, the American people, they've lost in Fauci, that's for sure. He and the Chinese government and the Wuhan labs, they spread this stuff around the world. And they've lost faith in the CDC. They've lost faith in the science because there's been a cover-up, and it continues today. They've lost faith in the Biden administration. I mean, the list runs on and on. But here in Texas today, and I do have a video for that, if I can get my mouse to cooperate. Geezer, whenever we flip this around, we'll have to turn our mics off.
All right.
All right, here we go. We'll start this thing. Hang on, guys.
A lot to get to, including mask wearing in schools. The American Academy of Pediatrics is suggesting that kids as young as 2 years old should be masked up when they go back to school in the fall. What do you plan to tell people in your state?
Well, first, the setup, and that is what you all have been talking about the past few minutes, and that is all the information that we get from Washington, D.C. and the supposed leaders about responding to COVID have been, as John talked about earlier, shifting. They keep moving the goalpost throughout the entire pandemic, and all that really does is sow confusion among the American public. No one knows what to believe, and as a result, people have a lack of trust and confidence in the information coming out of Washington, D.C. The one thing that we do know is this, and that is that those who receive COVID vaccine shots are far less likely and highly protected against, far less likely to get COVID and highly protected against COVID. And so the state of Texas is working with local communities to make sure that people have access to COVID shots and are aware of the success rate of COVID shots. With regard to schools in particular, listen, I've made it very clear, this is an issue of parental choice and will not be an issue of mandates, especially for those who've already received a COVID shot. There's absolutely no proven reason for them to be required to wear a mask, for one, but for another, again, there will be no mandates in Texas schools about wearing masks. But as always, the people who are most responsible for the health of their children are the parents, and the parents have the right to make sure that they will get to make the choice about whether or not their child will be wearing a mask in school.
It seems that there's so much more thought put into just that aspect of things, and not what happens to these kids if they do have to wear a mask all day, if that takes away from their socialization, their ability to learn, heading into multiple years of this. I saw sort of a reaction to the Rand Paul, Dr. Fauci exchange that we played there at the top of the hour. There was more that came from all this, including this exchange with Dr. Fauci and the CDC director, Walensky, and it pertained to exactly what we're talking about right now, wearing masks in schools in the fall. Listen.
Hey, everybody.
Well, we can do without their commercial. But yeah, Dr. Fauci and Rand Paul had it out today, and it was pretty interesting. You can find that on YouTube, and kind of interesting. Well, I have a little bit of it, you know. You guys want to see it? You guys want to see it?
Look at all the yes.
They run a few seconds behind this geezer, so we won't see an answer to that for a minute. Yeah, there's Forrest. How you doing, buddy? All right, we'll listen to a little bit of that. Here we go, everybody.
Section 1001 of the U.S. Criminal Code creates a felony and a 5-year.
Hey, everybody. Stop clicking around. I am in the woods with some water going in the background near my house, and in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to...
Wait a minute.
5-year penalty for lying.
Here we
to
go
Congress.
again.
On your last trip to our committee on May 11th, you stated that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And yet, gain-of-function research was done entirely in the Wuhan Institute by Dr. Shi and was funded by the NIH. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the Wuhan virology paper entitled Discovery of a Rich Gene Pool of Bat SARS-Related Coronaviruses. Please deliver a copy of the journal article to Dr. Fauci. In this paper, Dr. Shi credits the NIH and lists the actual number of the grant that she was given by the NIH. In this paper, she took 2 bat coronavirus genes, spike genes, and combined them with a SARS-related backbone to create new viruses that are not found in nature. These lab-created viruses were then shown to replicate in humans. These experiments combine genetic information from different coronaviruses that infect animals but not humans to create novel artificial viruses able to infect human cells. Viruses that in nature only infect animals were manipulated in the Wuhan lab to gain the function of infecting humans. This research fits the definition of the research that the NIH said was subject to the pause in 2014 to 2017, a pause in funding on gain of function. But the NIH failed to recognize this, defines it away, and it never came under any scrutiny. Dr. Richard E. Bright, a molecular biologist from Rutgers, described this research in Wuhan as the Wuhan lab used NIH funding to construct novel chimeric SARS-related coronaviruses able to infect human cells and laboratory animals. This is high-risk research that creates new potential pandemics. Dr. Fauci, knowing that it is a crime to lie to Congress, do you wish to retract your statement of May 11th where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan?
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress. Your microphone.
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I do not retract that statement. This paper that you are referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain as not being gain of function. What was, let me finish.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans,
Right.
you're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about. Okay, you get one person.
Let's read from the NIH definition of gain of function. This is your definition that you guys wrote. It says that scientific research that increases the transmissibility among mammals is gain of function. They took animal viruses that only occur in animals, and they...
Well, we don't want to bore you to death with that. And Dr. Fauci went on the attack. Now, it's already been discussed about this virus and where it came from, and it's already been proven that all those scientists and the people that Fauci was talking about were working in cahoots with each other to say nothing to see here, everybody. Kind of like the vote. Nothing to see here, everybody. We're the science. So if you're not believing in us, then you don't believe in science. If you don't believe in Dr. Fauci, you don't believe in science. And so today he went on the attack, and that was just some of it there. And he kept on and on. And of course, he went on to all the liberal news media, and kept pounding that, trying to pound that home. But Dr. Fauci and the CCP released that shit on the world. It's what they did. Now they're trying to cover their tracks. And you're right, Forrest, Fauci is a criminal. And there's enough criminals to go around, everybody. What could be worse than that, everybody? What could be worse than everything we're seeing? You know what would be? Amnesty! Amnesty, everybody! I should have had this in that other section, but amnesty. Let me tell you where amnesty's at right now. Amnesty is in the infrastructure bill. That's where it's sitting. And Schumer's trying to get it passed. And what Republicans need to do is grow a set and find a way to disrupt all this crap and keep it from happening. I mean, if they get 3 million people in here this year, immigrants, we don't need any of them having amnesty and then getting the vote. Because once you get to where you can vote yourself benefits, game over, everybody. Game over, because they will do it till it collapses, and that's what I believe is happening anyway. That's what the Democrats are trying to do, is collapse the system. Cloward and Pivens, you've heard me say this before. So the Republicans better learn to fight, and learn to fight fast. Because that's what Democrats do. Even when they lose, they fight until they win. Because Republicans haven't known how to fight. Now, I cringe anytime I hear them say bipartisan. Just cringe. That's when you want to frickin' run away, but you can't run away. You've got to stay there and make these sumbitches fight. Is what you got to do. We got 2 people here, Congressional District 6, running. I don't like neither one of them. Number one, I don't like the military officer, the Navy guy. Hey, I'm a Navy guy. I don't like him because he's lied to his constituents. Said he wouldn't vote for a tax, and then he did. And the other one I don't like because she's a relative of the former guy. I don't like relatives in politics. Take a look at Biden and Hunter. That's what you end up with. I just don't like it. I don't like one generation after the other of politicians. Just because they've got the name or just because they've got the money. Now, unfortunately, that's the way the system works right now. We have to work with it. But we have to try and pick the best that we can find. And so, you know, this, I mean, God. And I said in our description of the show, I was talking about Geezer, about Cubans not having the internet. You know why they don't have the internet? You know why they don't have the internet?
No.
Because they don't want them talking to each other. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? You see what's going on here? With them canceling everybody, and now we've got the big tech and the administration working in cahoots with each other. That's what I'm saying. So they're all working together. So that makes them a Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all those big techs that are trying to cancel somebody, cancel people. They are de facto government agencies. Once you start doing the government's bidding, and that's what we're talking about here. So yeah. Napa, I don't doubt that the CCP is running everything in Cuba. And you know, 9 miles off of our shore, we ought to take care of that shit. Is what we ought to be doing. We had to do it back in what, 63, 64? Then we screwed it up. So the way I see it, and you guys heard me say this last week, Biden and Harris and all the rest of them up there, they're all criminals. They're all criminals. They're circumventing our laws, bringing all these people into the country, and the military participating in it. And to some extent, Geezer, the damn Border Patrol is participating in it. Let me show you something, you guys. Let me show you something. I got another video here. God, here. Let me get this around. Here we go. I'm probably not going to play audio on this one, so let's swing it around. See those people there behind? That's the wall, everybody. That's the wall. On the other side of it is 300 people. 300 people forcing their way through. What's this? And look who it is when they're coming in. Not much of a forced job. They call that forcing their way through. You see any OTMs there? Who are those people? Now, in case Fox News wants to fuss about that, screw them. We don't monetize, so we can use their shit. But you see what I'm saying? We got these people that I see. When I see that, I see our Border Patrol. I see the police that the governor said he's supposed to be surging, standing there and watching them come in.
Mm-hmm.
Letting them come in, everybody. Letting them come in. And what are our politicians doing on either side? Nothing, everybody. Nothing. It's maddening. Maddening what we see. Yeah, I assume they're all Haitians, Napa, but could be more. I guess they're closer. So they're criminals. All these states, including Texas, needs to have their attorney generals indict Biden, Kamala Harris, all the other dipwads that are taking part in this, including the Catholic Church, including all these other churches that are out there making money off of this, everybody. Making money off of it. Any of the bus companies, any of the airlines, any of these places, they need to be taking them to court. They do it to bikers. They do it to us in a heartbeat. Just because they're the federal government, are they supposed to get away with it? Just because Joe Biden's the president, he's supposed to get away with it? He's supposed to circumvent all our laws? That's BS, everybody. He does not have carte blanche to destroy this country. He does not. We did not vote for this. As you know, we didn't vote for him. So, and there's a lot of people that need to be in jail. You saw those people, and that video is still up at TexasBikerRadio.org, where those federal workers were plotting a coup. That General Milley seems to don't understand what a coup is. But that was a coup. That was an attempt or a planning of a coup, is what that was. Those people ought to be in jail. And many of those people were federal workers. And you're right, Napa. Yeah. The liberal judges and the prosecutors, number one, the prosecutors won't prosecute them, and the judges would probably let them go anyway. We got to fix that too. We got to fix that too. But no, they'll drag a biker through hell for 3 years, for 4 years. That's what they'll do. So, you know, instead of these people being in jail, they just walking around doing whatever it is, just destroy the freaking country while our politicians stand by and do nothing. Do nothing. Just let it happen. And you know, really, Geezer, Biden and Harris and the Democrats and anybody that dies from this point, from COVID, because, you know, we do believe this stuff is spiking because all the immigrants they're letting into the country. We're talking 1 million, everybody, spread throughout the country. And the crimes committed by these people when they get in here, those deaths are on their shoulders. They are. They're responsible for any deaths that go from the Biden administration from day one. From day one. And it's all by design, everybody. It's all by design. It's so screwed up. Let me tell you, the Constitution tells us what the government cannot do. They can't interfere with free speech, yet they're doing it. They can't infringe on our Second Amendment rights, yet they're trying to do it. I mean, the list runs on and on and on of our constitutional rights, and yet they're trying to throw the Constitution into the garbage. We can't let them do it. We got to get out there. That's what we have to do. Like I said, the big tech is acting like a de facto government. once they start participating and censoring people. And let me tell you this, the Psaki,
Yeah.
she said that they do have a list. They have a list of the top 12 that Facebook gave them of misinformation spreaders. Number one was Bongino, or Bongiano, however you say it. Number one was him. And matter of fact, they had him listed in the first 10 spots. So, but what they're doing is going beside the size. They're going by the size of the audience they have. That's the reason Bongino's won. His audience is huge because he's got Rush Limbaugh's spot.
Yeah.
So he's number one, but he's on radio. I don't believe they're going to do anything about that. But if they do, you know, I mean, if they shut the internet down, if they start canceling everybody, all these young people, what are they going to do, Geezer? They're going to be mad. The government took their plaything away.
That would probably be the best thing for this country.
It's true. So the government would be taking away their plaything, their internet. Maybe they might take away their cell phone or something, you know, because we understand now they're talking about this spyware or whatever it is, Pegasus. Listen, everybody. Where'd he go? Hell. Listen, everybody. Listen now. Listen up, bikers. This right here, they can turn it on. They can take pictures. They know everything that you're doing with that Pegasus spyware. And the government is using it. It's any of these big outfits can buy it. They can listen to everything you say, and they can listen to whatever you take videos of, pictures, whatever else. They can do it all, even though you don't have it on. They can do it all. They can do it all, even if you turn it off. They still can. And I don't know. They may be able to do it if you take the battery out of the damn thing. Not too sure. So they're giving iPads to Texas prisoners. Somebody better warn them.
Well, can we buy the spyware and put it on there?
I'm going to look into that and see if we can buy a Pegasus program. I don't know, guys.
Put it on Kamala's and Biden's and
Yeah.
Fauci.
I'm sure it's really a high-tech thing that you've got to know how to do a lot of. I mean, I imagine it's not simple.
Well, we've got a tech guru.
Hey, you guys, listen to this. As a 30-year aircraft worker, and about 20 years ago when we started shipping all our parts off to China, and I flat ass just refused to go there and train those people. And here's one reason why. See that there? It's China's first big airliner, commercial airliner. So now they're going to be in competition with us. And does that airplane look familiar? Because they are real good at stealing technology. The Japanese were good at it, but these guys are really good at it. And so it looks a whole lot like a 757, 767. I know because I worked on them. So hold on. We were telling them back then that, hey, how does this work for us? How does this work for us? How does us giving them our work for us? They said, oh, well, we're gonna get more work. I said, wait a minute. We're going to get more work by giving our work to them. Oh yeah, they're going to be buying airliners and stuff like crazy. We'll be getting part of that work. I mean, does that look like they're ready to buy our aircraft? Does it? Now they're in competition with us, with Airbus, with Boeing. They're in competition with us now, and let me tell you, they are subsidized by the government. Boeing is not. The Airbus is funded by the French and the English. They do get government subsidies. Boeing does not. So this is going to be something close to watch. I have seen the results of their work. I wouldn't get on one of those airplanes for nothing. There's no way I would fly on that airplane not built by those people. No way. So let's wait and see, Geezer, how long it takes. Because I'm sure it's a fly-by-wire. We'll see how it happens. We'll see how it rolls, everybody. We'll see if it rolls into some trees, into an ocean, wherever it might go. Just saying, everybody. Yeah, we've given them missile technology. We've given them all kinds of crap. And, you know, they're really just really good at stealing stuff. They really are. But, you know, we've always had people trying to steal technology of us. When I was up at Pratt & Whitney, up in Connecticut, they had, back when I was up there in the 90s on a C-17, we were doing the engines and the cells. They had what they call, Geezer, a jet-proof room. It's a place where they had all the experimental engines and they couldn't go in there. Now, they had some really cool stuff in there, Geezer. Some really neat stuff. And the Japanese that would visit there, they take notes on everything. Hell, Geezer, they take notes in the chow line. It's crazy. It's crazy. The technology and everything, you know, I mean, I don't know how we're staying out in front. But we've got a lot of good engineers. Maybe it will make an amazing submarine. We'll see if those wings and tails and stuff fall off. But yeah, I mean, it looks nice, but I wouldn't get on it. No way. No way. Geezer, we've been going an hour, man. Well, I have.
You got on a roll. I wasn't going to slow you down.
Yeah, I know. I do that. I do that every once in a while. Everybody, I've been doing this for a while. And yeah, you guys on the chat line, we can hang around a little bit. You got any questions? We'll wait for them to pop up. Plane's probably full to the hilt with spy gear and such. Yeah. And brain damage, they be listening to everything you say. So when you own, if you're on that airplane, don't say nothing. Matter of fact is, don't say anything with this around. Not that you don't want heard, that's for sure. And there has been times when we have put the phones away. That's true. And that happens a lot. You see, brother, even the weed or coke that is done is U.S. government. Yeah, you've got that right. That's how the CIA finances a bunch of the stuff they do. But you know, now the CIA is compromised, the FBI is compromised, the military, it looks like they're compromised because they're participating in our demise, everybody. That's right. Alexa. Yeah, Forrest, I have to put Alexa up on a patio roof. Yeah. Only thing it's good for is playing some music. You know, you can say, Alexa, play 80s music, and it'll play that. It's pretty good. But that's about all we use it for. If I don't want it to hear anything, I take it somewhere. I'll put it out in one of the cars. My grandma used to say bomb on the phone to get
recorded to waste the government's time.
She used to say bomb to get recorded on the phone. Now I do that too every once in a while. I'll tell the FBI, the NSA to go to hell, which I did just last week. Yeah. I mean, it's always good to send them a little message, keep them awake. It says, seriously, Alexa is bored in our house. How do you bore it? Explain that.
It's not in my house, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Geezer, you got an Alexa on your motorcycle?
No. I've got no technology in my house.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny. I know we kid around with this stuff, but you know it's all really serious. I mean, it's something to be concerned about. And I do encourage everybody for the month of August, make sure that you're ready no matter what happens, even if nothing happens. Because as we know, there's been a lot of people since January who've been saying something's going to happen, and yet nothing happens. Gacera, all that shit. And I just heard it today. Gacera is coming this week. Or it's happening in Iraq, everybody. Get your dinars ready. Who the hell goes to Iraq? I think my son bought a boatload of dinars and he still hadn't made nothing off of it. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. Gacera is a real thing, but I don't know of anybody that's really implementing it.
What is it?
It's a financial system. They keep calling it quantum finance or something like that. We're supposed to be getting boatloads of money. All of us.
Just like the Bitcoins?
No, I don't know. I'll have to try and get somebody to come on here and explain it to us. Because there are guys that think they know. If you go to the Q or whatever it is, and when they explain it, they're putting out so much crap you don't know what's what by the time they finished. But that, you know, the Frog News Network, they tried to explain it. And of course, every time they said something was going to happen and it didn't happen, they were jumping all over their ass. So now they're trying to straighten up and fly right. The problem is they just don't know how to do it. We got intel, everybody. That's what they'll say. We got intel.
It's just not good intel.
And they'll say just some BS out there, you know, like, you know, we got 12,000 mile an hour trains. We got, you know, children being sacrificed here and there. I mean, the other night they were on the Catholic Church. I mean, they were after them big time. It was kind of interesting, though. It really was, but I didn't know there were so many child sacrifices going on.
In the Catholic Church?
Catholic Church, Mormon Church, you name it.
Oh.
And all churches, according to them, all churches are controlled by the Catholic Church. All of them, except for maybe if you have a country church that's out there with a little preacher that's out there really just preaching to his congregation, and he's not affiliated with any one of these churches where he gets paid through them.
Even Joel Osteen is run by a Catholic Church?
I don't know. Might be. I mean, they got tons of money.
Well, yeah.
They live in big houses. They drive in these fancy cars, big boats. I mean, stuff I don't have. I've had them, but hell, they wasn't top of the line. They wasn't $1 million boat.
Well, you didn't have $1 million. They do. They just have it laying around.
I've probably made that much in my lifetime that I've thrown away. That's what I'm saying, everybody. But you know what? I had fun along the way, everybody. That's what I tell my wife. We may not be rich, but I had fun along the way.
That's the main thing that counts.
That's true. That's true. So, can't make a screwdriver. It don't break, you get tired. Oh, yeah. Is that Malachi? Is that how you say that? Malachi?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right on that, buddy. Preachers can be corrupt. That is true. That is true. My first wife used to work for a church. It was crooked as heck. She started a school. That's the reason they hired her. She started their school, kindergarten through, I think, went through the 6th grade. And so it was interesting. The daggum preacher was cheap. He'd come out there to the gym, the kids playing in the dark. I'd go out there and turn the lights on. He'd come back in there and he'd turn them back out, and then I'd turn them back on. Finally, I told him, I said, leave the light on. Somebody's going to hit somebody with a daggum volleyball or
basketball.
Yeah. I don't think he liked me very much, Geezer. When you buy your ticket, you need to ask the ticket clerk where was the aircraft made. You're right, Martin. You're right. You know, when I get on an airplane, I hadn't been in an airplane quite some time. I used to travel all the time for the company, but yeah, I'd take a look at the. I'd take a quick look at the fuselage when I was going in. Of course, when everything moves on an airplane, when I hear the noises, I know what it is. I know what it's doing. But like on the C-17, everybody, it has a fan reverser and a core reverser. So each engine has two elements to the engine that works to stop the airplane, and 1,600 feet. That's what it had to do in order to pass the spec requirements. Is stop in 1,600 feet, then turn around and take off. Incredible airplane, everybody. It really is. And so, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see them do a hard landing and come in and blow all the tires out. Yeah, that's always fun. On a big airplane like that, because it's kind of a heck of a ride.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well, it's only tax money anyway.
It's exciting when you do that in any airplane. Because I've been up in, I'm also a pilot. Back when we were flying the puddle jumpers, it was always interesting. We'd go up in when a storm was coming. we'd take off and we'd slow the airplane up. We'd slow it up. We'd slow it up till we're doing about like 25 knots or something. But the wind's blowing at 40, so you're actually backing up when you're flying. It's funny as heck.
Don't get very good gas mileage.
My wife would call out the airport, says, "Mail there?" He said, "No, he and Lou are up in." What? He and Lou are up in flying in the storm. But there wasn't nothing more fun than everybody than getting water balloons and going out and bombing the cows. Don't tell anybody I said that. I'll tell you some stories sometime. I had a friend that his dad had an airplane, and we used to borrow it every once in a while when we were about 15. But hey, everybody, have a great evening. We'll be back here later in the week. We'll be talking to, I can't wait to talk to Napa again. Because I'm going to be loaded for bear. If I keep seeing crap like I saw today, people coming through the gates and they're just standing there watching them, why not just keep them there? Let them stack up. Let them beat their heads against the damn wall. I mean, you don't just let them in. Just because Biden says so. He's breaking the law, everybody. He's breaking the freaking law. And with that, buy a motorcycle. Come ride with us.
Good night.
Come ride with us. Good night, everybody. We love you. Bye-bye.